Alright, you guys, we're back for the juicy one. This one is a tale in China. Shout out to All Asian Dilemmas. Don't you forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and, share the story. But anyway, this is about a woman who took over 1 million yuan and a promised marriage. But an elevator camera stopped all that. This married man fell in love with a flight attendant. And he spent all her money on her. Crazy, right? Well, not all of it, but he had money to spend on a concubine, basically. Let's see what happened.
Mr. Shen, who sought the program's help. Mr. Shen told the reporter that, a year ago, he traveled alone to an unfamiliar city. In the middle of the crowd, he was captivated by a young, beautiful, and radiant woman who made his heart race and left him completely enchanted.
Wild thing, you make my heart sing.
So, he borrowed a friend's luxury car and followed the young woman to the hotel where she was staying. There, he took the initiative to ask for her contact information. After getting closer to Mr. Shen, Zhuang Li found out that he already had a family and, on top of that, 3 children. At the same time, she also discovered that Mr. Shen was actually the owner of an e-commerce company.
No wonder that's how he got all that money to do all this. He's married, he has a household, he has 3 kids, and now a concubine, basically, because he's giving her money. So he's a super simp, but he has money, so it's all good, right?
It could be said that he was a successful man, with both career and love. But if that was the case, why was Mr. Shen still seeking out Zhuang Li? On their first date, Mr. Shen told her that between him and his wife, the spark was long gone. The busy life of running a business only made the distance between them grow larger. Their relationship, more than a marriage, already felt like a business partnership.
And that's exactly what it is when you commit to somebody. When the honeymoon phase is over, it's strictly business from there. That's your roommate. And you better not do your roommate wrong, because she could flip your world upside down with divorce papers. She gets half of everything without that prenup. But then prenups don't guarantee nothing either, because you could challenge a prenup and it could be reversed. So you can't rely on that.
That was why he turned to Zhuang Li, searching for a sense of novelty. Mr. Shen told Zhuang Li that, if necessary, he would divorce his wife. Hearing this, Zhuang Li hesitated for a moment, but in the end, she chose to continue the relationship with him. The facts showed that Shen Guang was truly sincere with Zhuang Li. He transferred a total of 660,000 yuan to her.
Why? Was she broke? Well, she was a flight attendant. Flight attendants don't make a whole bunch of money. But the guys they come across make a lot of money. He was well off, and he didn't mind tricking off on her because she looks good and she's young, right? PYT.
Gave her a Mercedes with a down payment of 240,000 yuan, and even bought an engagement gift worth 28,800 yuan. In other words, during the relationship, Mr. Shen spent over 1 million on his girlfriend.
For what? I bet you he didn't spend $1 million on his wife. I bet you he spent way more money on this girl than he did his own family.
But in his view, it was all worth it, as long as she was happy. However, the sweet life didn't last long. Soon, Mr. Shen discovered something suspicious on his girlfriend Zhuang's phone.
最后我才发现他是骗我。
怎么骗你呢？
就是带着他男同事回家过夜这个事嘛。
进电梯出电梯的视频。
这是进哪里的电梯？
这是从他家出来。
7点半才出来的。
对。
All the signs showed that there was, in fact, a man living in Zhuang Li's home. Shen Guang immediately thought of her co-worker. Through the elevator footage, he saw the two of them leaving together. But soon he realized the situation was not as simple as he had imagined. On September 3rd, a little after 8 in the evening, I sent her messages and got no reply. At that exact time, she ordered a meal set for 2 people at home. See? There's no way she could eat all of that by herself. Look at the beef soup, 2 bowls of beef noodles, more than 80 yuan spent. Shen also reported that whenever he made a video call with his girlfriend, the man was always by her side. Whenever he asked her to show her surroundings, she would hang up the call immediately. yet she kept asking him for money and even took him to look at wedding rings. According to Mr. Shen, in August, when he met his girlfriend, he accidentally discovered she had a second WeChat account.
Ooh, she creeping. See, they both creeping. It never really works out correctly, or if you think it is, but then see, it pisses him off because you started it to begin with. What you was doing wasn't right. You was a married man seeking out a girlfriend. And that's entanglement right there. She's okay dealing with the married man as long as she's getting something out of it, which is money. And then she's still going to get her serve on with pretty much guys that don't have as much money as he does. So it's a win-win for her because it's a come up for her. Because she has her cake and the frosting too. But he's paying for everything. For his wife, his family, his kids, and his concubine. Well, it's not even really a concubine because whatever.
Where she only kept a few male contacts with whom she exchanged highly suggestive messages. In one of them, a man even called her Little Wildcat.
Whoa.
Shen was furious, but she grabbed his phone and deleted everything. While Shen Guang was enthusiastically dedicating himself to the preparations for their home and their wedding, he realized that his girlfriend was getting closer and closer to a coworker. Their conversations were also highly suggestive.
It's always that coworker that don't go away. And more than likely, you're going to deal with a coworker than you are, let's say, a neighbor or a friend that everybody knows. I don't know. It's just usually common. These things are common with coworkers.
Since the relationship was supposedly heading toward marriage, Shen decided to fly that very night to the city where she lived, to clear up misunderstandings and give her the chance to prove her innocence. However, when he entered the apartment with the key he found a devastating scene.
Ooh.
Zhuang Li was already gone,
Ooh.
but the room was in complete disorder. The bed was a mess. On the floor there were 2 pairs of slippers, one clearly male, and in the bathroom, 2 toothbrushes were still wet, showing recent use. What struck him the most was finding hair strands and suspicious fluids on the messy bed.
Suspicious fluids. Oh shit. I'm having too much fun with these videos.
Shen photographed every detail and presented all the evidence to Zhuang Li. Not long before, something unspeakable had clearly happened in that room. When he thought about all the money he had spent on her, Shen Guang couldn't hold back his anger. To remove any chance of denial, he even went to the building's management and requested the security camera footage. In the videos, it was clear, Zhuang Li, dressed in a flight attendant uniform, was going upstairs hand in hand with a man. And that man was exactly the coworker she always talked about. After watching the footage, Shen Guang broke down completely. While he dreamed and carefully planned their wedding, his girlfriend had already betrayed him, putting the mark of betrayal on him.
While you paying for it, somebody else is getting it for free. This is a good example right here. A lot of times, not all the time, but I bet you her coworker wasn't splurging money on her. She liked her coworker organically. She wanted him because he kept splurging out that money. That's not liking somebody organically. That's using somebody. Or should we say that's business, that's prostitution. You had to keep giving her money for her to come around or stay around. So yeah, good for the coworker.
After they signed the prenuptial agreement, Shen Guang said that he gave away all the furniture in the house and hired a decorating company to renovate the apartment in the style his girlfriend liked. He said, "It was supposed to be our newlywed home." When asked about the wedding date, Shen explained, her parents said they would come on October 1st to set the date, but they never showed up. The next day, Zhuang Li's mother tried to mediate, saying, the two of them are about to get married, and they will have to walk together for decades to come. They should trust each other. Because he loved his girlfriend deeply, Shen Guang once again gave in and continued with the preparations. But it didn't take long for Zhuang Li to suddenly disappear. When she finally reappeared, she coldly said, "I want to break up."
Ooh.
Even her mother mocked him, which Shen found unacceptable. Facing the accusations, Shen asked firmly, "And you still brought a man to spend the night at your house?" Zhuang Li tried to justify herself, saying, "My car broke down and needed repairs. The next morning I had to leave very early, so I asked my coworker for help." He retorted angrily, "Then why did he spend the night at your house?" She replied defensively, "It was just a talk early in the morning, nothing happened."
Yeah, it was talking all right. That's what kind of talking it was. But yeah, these type of things happen all the time. No big deal, right? I mean, people get tired. When that spark runs out, you're looking for another spark. That's going to rekindle. Anyway, this is Kai DeVale. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to leave the link down in the description to view the whole video. See you next time.